Any teacher who has tried to get a student to read, or has taught literature to teenagers, or has taught English as an additional language, knows that there are a remarkable number of teaching fads on what are called reading strategies. Some of these are based on folk teaching wisdom, some are based more on research. But which ones work best? Well, there's a very big scientific research literature on this. There are about a dozen different directions we could take, but I think Daniel Willingham, the psychologist, offers us a very useful way through. I guess he could actually be more accurately described as a cognitive psychologist, but that's whatever. I just like to concentrate on a very brief but useful column that he wrote in 2006 called The Usefulness of Brief Instruction in Reading Comprehension Strategies. Despite its ungainly title, I think this column offers something very useful for those who work with very young readers, those in the 4th grade and beyond, and those who are older but still perhaps struggle. At risk of slightly butchering what Willingham says, I'd encourage you to go and read this. It's only about 10 pages long and very accessible. But Willingham looks at the history of previous interventions. How much do these strategies help? How do they work? Do all students benefit? And how much time should be spent on them as well? The evidence that strategy instruction helps comes from the National Reading Panel, an American-based organization, who conducted a comprehensive review of all the 481 studies on reading strategies between 1980 and 1998. The most promising, Willingham suggests, are multiple strategy instruction and question generation. These are strategies designed to encourage students to relate sentences to one another. Question generation encourages students to generate their own questions to be posed during reading that integrates larger units of meaning. And in the multiple strategy instruction, which there's also evidence for the effectiveness of, there are multiple strategies where summaries, predictions, questions, and clarifications of confusing words or passages are all used in illuminating a passage of text. The evidence of effectiveness for other strategies designed to encourage students to relate sentences to one another are also promising. However, Willingham is a bit more tentative with these because, unlike question generation or the multiple strategy instructions, statisticians haven't measured the size of the effect, known as D. So, with such strategies such as question answering, graphic organization, summarization, mental imagery, cooperative learning, or story structure, they're all seen to be effective, yet there's more work to be done in suggesting just how effective they are. In summary, Willingham writes that reading comprehension strategies offer a one-time boost, as he says, for a select group of pupils, those who are already good decoders from scribbles on a page, but don't know reading strategies. However, in themselves, are no substitute for acquiring a broad vocabulary and a rich base of background knowledge that will yield more substantial and longer-term benefits. This tilt towards teaching knowledge is partly what informed the recent calls and research in what is known as English mastery, but that is for another video, perhaps.